Welcome to Camp Rehoboth. My name is Kim Lacey, and I'm the executive director, and my pronouns are she, her. And as many of you know, CAMP stands for Create a More Positive Rehoboth and was founded over 3 decades ago. We serve all sexual orientations and gender identities, and Camp Rehoboth is often referred to as the epicenter of the LGBTQ culture in Delaware, and is known internationally as we attract LGBTQ people from all over the globe to the beaches of Delaware. As a result of Camp Rehoboth's work over the decades, the queer population in Delaware rivals states like California and Oregon. Per capita, Delaware has one of the highest LGBTQ populations in the country. Camp Rehoboth's work is still very much needed. Our training with police and other service agencies, our partnerships with the state, other nonprofits, and the community at large are examples of our focus on safety, health, and belonging. We are so pleased to have Governor Meyer and other elected officials here at Camp Rehoboth for this historic day. The visibility of this event in Sussex County is important to the community. So thank you for being here. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer has dedicated his career to public service as an educator, entrepreneur, diplomat, and local leader. Matt is a former public school mathematics teacher who understands firsthand the transformative power of education and the importance of supporting working families. Governor Meyer served as Newcastle County Executive from 2017 to 2025, demonstrating that government can deliver meaningful results for everyday people. Under his leadership, Delaware's largest local government prioritized practical solutions to foster economic growth, support affordable housing, improve access to health care, and invest in public safety. So now, as the 76th governor of Delaware, he brings the same results-driven approach to the state level, committed to building a government that reflects Delaware's values and meets the needs of all of its residents. Governor Meyer's journey to public leadership is marked by diverse and impactful experiences. After graduating with degrees in computer science and political science from Brown University, he moved to Nairobi, Kenya, where he learned Swahili and founded Eco Sandals, a company producing environmentally friendly footwear sold across 17 countries on 5 continents. He later served as a diplomat embedded with the U.S. Army in Mosul, Iraq, during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation New Dawn, gaining unique insights into diplomacy, conflict resolution, and leadership under pressure. With a proven record of innovative leadership, Governor Meyer is committed to ensuring Delaware remains a state where opportunities are accessible, communities are strengthened, and every person can thrive. Thank you, Governor Meyer.
Thank you. Who wrote that? My mom? You only included the good stuff. No, but can we hear it for Kim? Everybody at Camp Rehoboth. Thank you. Not just for this, for hosting the meeting today, but for what you do every single day. We know that within these walls, you are literally saving lives of Delawareans, and for that, thank you and your staff and the board for everything you give in this building. It's an honor to be here with you. It's an honor to be here with, hopefully Senator Huxtable has arrived, he's in traffic. It's an honor to be here with Representative Claire Snyder Hall, Representative Cindy Romer, and Representative Neal, who you will hear from. And Senator Cruz, sorry, you're sitting. Senator Cruz, thank you, as well, who I think by definition had the longest trip here because he's bordering Pennsylvania. But thank you very much. Longest trip in-state, I should say. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing here, or why I'm here. Then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do, and then I'll hand off. I'm really here for 3 reasons. The first and least important reason is that I think one of the best ways to build an economy in 2025 is through tolerance and through inclusivity. That when you include people and you say, no matter what skills you bring, if you're willing to come here, work hard, do what you can, no matter where you're from, who you love, what you identify, I don't really care. Come here, work your butt off. I want you to be here. And I'm hoping that with this, we will take yet another step forward, standing on the shoulders of many before me who've served in elected position to establish and reestablish such a tolerant, inclusive place for us to stand up and say, come here. If you have skills, you have talents, come here. We don't really care about much else. The second thing is, I have this basic belief that government should be staying out of people's lives. That my wife is an emergency room physician. And to think that I or some regulator is literally or figuratively standing in her doctor's office when she's consulting a patient is horrific. It's not something representative of who we are as Americans. As my colleague, Governor Tim Walz, has said, if you believe in freedom only for some people in some instances, that's not freedom, that's privilege. Here in Delaware, we believe in freedom for everyone without exception. And the third thing, and probably most important to me, though the other two are quite important, is that, and I don't want to, the new head of our National Guard, the Adjutant General, likes to say, let me give it to you sugar-free, right? We're not sugarcoating things. Let me give it to you sugar-free. We're like kind of at the decade anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of what I think has been maybe an existential fight in our country. And it's a fight between hate and hope. It's a fight where it's so easy to say, you're different than me. I'm not transgender. No one in my family identifies as transgender, right? And so a lot of people like me who don't have anyone in their lives who's transgender, it's so much easier to hate. You can go on a podcast and say awful things. You can go on social media and say horrific things. And you'll get all sorts of people liking you. And yeah, you can make a video that is terrible and denigrates people. And you can do it with our brothers and sisters and friends and neighbors who are transgender. You can do it with lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer friends. You can do it with people who are poor. You can do it with people who are black or a different ethnicity than me, a different religion, who maybe talk with an accent. Some men do it with women. Women can do it. We can take anyone who's not like us and villainize them. It's not that hard. And there are a lot of people around the country, around the world, dare I say, around our state, even here in Sussex County, who are choosing that path. The harder path for all of us is hope. It's empathy. It's saying, we here in America are something greater than this. We're greater than what we see people saying on these news shows. We want to be a community that's loving, that says, I got to be honest, I don't completely understand what's going on every day between your ears, right? Quite frankly, you probably don't understand what's going on every day between my ears. But we're going to work to understand each other. We're going to work to tolerate each other. We're going to work today to make sure everybody here has access to the highest quality health care without exception and without some governor or state legislator or federal government or other state governments telling you what's going to happen in your doctor's office. So those are the three reasons that I'm here today. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're actually doing. Before I do that, I wanted to thank three people on my staff who've been absolutely essential to being here. I learned from the Scott Foundation out in California. Shannon Hunt Scott leads that, as well as some people in this room, that Rhode Island had done an executive order. And I'm in a competition. I don't just want to be a community of hope. I want us to be the #1 community of hope in the country. And so when Rhode Island signs an executive order protecting, that's a fighting executive order. We gotta one-up them. Not from a place of hate, a place of love, a place of hope. Misty, John Kane, Mila on my staff, we can give them a round of applause. They've worked very hard on this. Because as they know, it's got to represent our values and represent the ways in which we want to move the state forward, but it also has to be legal. And so they've worked hard to make sure this executive order today I'm signing, it does just that. So today we're signing an executive order that protects gender-affirming care for everyone within our borders. We're making it clear if you are providing or receiving care that is legal in Delaware, you are protected. No state agency will help any out-of-state efforts to punish providers or patients for care that complies with our laws. We will not honor subpoenas or extradition requests from other states that try to criminalize this care. And no professional board in Delaware may discipline any healthcare provider just for delivering gender-affirming care that is legal here. We got to get politics out of the doctor's office. Look, gender-affirming care saves lives. That's not just my opinion. It's the position of every major medical association in the United States, including the Medical Society of Delaware. These protections aren't just symbolic, they're a legal firewall. They ensure that doctors can keep doing their jobs without fear. They ensure that patients, especially young people, can keep accessing care without risk. LGBTQ plus Delawareans and those who travel here for care, and we should be proud of that they travel here for care. They deserve to feel safe and seen, not politicized or prosecuted. So from banning conversion therapy to expanding insurance coverage for gender-affirming care, Delaware has led and will continue to lead on LGB and especially TQ plus rights. And with this executive order, we're once again sending a message, hopefully, that resonates far beyond Camp Rehoboth in this room, that Delaware will continue to stand on the side of health, on the side of freedom, and on the side of human dignity. Without further ado, I want to introduce someone who's been fighting this battle for a long time. I initially met her actually years and years before you probably did, years and years before she became a state representative. She helped organize I think the first LGBTQ festival in Newcastle County. And I don't want to make comparisons, but I know there are a lot of Newcastle County residents here, but it's a little bit harder up there in many ways for many reasons. And she stood up, she got it done, and she's been fighting the fight, sometimes as a lone ranger, as a proud ranger for hope across our state. Ladies and gentlemen, Deshauna Neal.
He saw my eyes already tearing up, so thank you. You get it. Almost 20 years ago, my first child asked me to hear her. And there was nothing in this state. But I heard her. And then I had to fight against my own state that I had been born and raised in to treat her with dignity and respect. As a poor, and we just celebrated Juneteenth, as a poor Black mother, I had to find a way to get my state to recognize my child deserved the same health care rights as all my other children. And I did that, and be glad you weren't the governor at the time, because I threatened to sue the state for violating Section 1557 in the Affordable Care Act. And in doing that, and I didn't really boast about it, I didn't talk about it, it was actually our current Congresswoman Sarah McBride, who had to push me to start really standing in this truth. I shaped gender-affirming care for youth in this state with this beautiful, now almost 22-year-old Black trans woman who is alive and thriving. It was one of the hardest fights that I had ever experienced. And I've given birth 4 times, naturally. But as I went through that fight, my train of thought went from, I don't want this to happen to my child, to I don't want another parent, I don't want another trans person, I don't want anyone who just wants to be cared for to ever have to fight this fight. And I made a promise to Trinity. Before I leave this earth, I will make sure gender-affirming care is protected in this state. And I tried very hard for 2 years in the legislature to make that happen. And now I get to keep this promise. I love you so much.
I love you too. No, I love you.
Oh, okay. I also kept this promise. Sorry, he's the second born. We will not stop fighting in this state. This is a great state, albeit the traffic. This is a great state. And I think when we raised the pride flag in Newcastle, I had mentioned we were number 3, Rhode Island being number 1. I'm glad we're doing this healthy competition because Rhode Island, watch out. You already took the smallest state spot from us. You gotta give us something. I wanna thank my colleague, Representative Cindy Romer, for making sure all legal health care in this state is protected. She saw me crying on the floor because there was something deeper in there. And my daughter is more than a trans person. She's a college student, she's a sister, she works, capitalism, she works. She's a video game designer. I hated that I had to fight for her because she was trans when I should have just been fighting to make sure she thrived as a human being. Eventually, I hope we get to a place where we don't need to sign executive orders to protect people's rights. We should just be given those rights. So I want to thank you, Governor Meyer, and I want to thank all of you. This has been a very long, exhausting battle for me. And I'm not done yet. There's plenty of coffee to keep me going. But this feels good to know that that fight is protected. So thank you. And now, now I want to give it over to our LGBTQ Commission Chair, Cora Castle.
Thank you, Representative Neal. First, I want to call out that many of you probably in this room do not know who I am. My name is Cora Castle. I am a Wilmington resident. I was born in Wilmington. I was, however, raised in Anchorage, Austin, and also somewhere right in the middle of Missouri. I've been around a lot. I moved back to Delaware in high school. I now own a home 3 blocks away from the building in which I was born, so I've come 3 blocks in life. I want to start by thanking Governor Meyer for today's executive order and for making it unmistakable that Delaware will stand with trans families and care providers, even when other states seek to silence, shame, and criminalize them. This executive order doesn't just protect care. Of course, it protects dignity. It says that Delaware will remain a lighthouse where we believe in science, compassion, and in each other. It says that though our laws may stop at the state line, our values do not. So I'm so excited to work alongside this distinguished commissioner, these distinguished commissioners to leverage such an incredible breadth of experience to ensure that, that these beliefs that we all hold dear are condensed into lived experiences, everywhere from Wilmington all the way down to Delmar. The Commission's has practical professional experience that'll be brought to bear on a wide diversity of interests, from healthcare to education, to housing, to environmental justice, public safety, youth, elder care, and of course, as Governor Meyer said, and I could not agree with more, the economy, because if we don't have a healthy economy that includes everyone in the state, then we're choosing to be less. Delaware refuses to be less, especially less than Rhode Island. So our work will be rooted in evidence, informed by lived experience, and focused through our subject matter experts, our commissioners. Because if we want to build lasting change, we can't just speak from the heart, though that is very important, of course. We have to speak from data, and we have to speak from information, and we have to speak from a learned understanding of the voices of the people in this room and across the state. So once again, I want to thank Governor Meyer for supporting LGBTQ plus community and for your vision in creating a welcoming first state. Thank you, Governor Meyer. And with that, I will pass it to, who's next here? Vienna, please come on up.
I have nothing to add to the Rhode Island slander. Good morning. Today, Delaware is taking a bold and necessary step to protect trans folks, not just here in the first state, but across the country. Thank you, Governor Meyer, for taking this first step alongside us in making our state the safest we can for our trans folks and our trans youth especially. So let's please give him another round of applause. At a time when gender-affirming care is being criminalized nationwide, executive orders coming down from the federal government that criminalizes gender-affirming care, we in Delaware are making one thing clear. We will not be complicit. We will protect our providers, our patients, our families, people who are simply trying to live their lives. But this is not just a piece of paper. It's protection. It is safety. It is hope. And it is a promise. This past Wednesday, as many of us know, the Supreme Court issued its decision in the United States versus Scrimeti. It was a difficult day for a lot of us. It upheld Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for youth, setting a precedent that only hurts people. That ruling has opened the door for even more attacks on trans young people across the country. But today, Delaware is drawing a line in the sand. Not here, not in the first state. As a young, openly trans person, I know what these policies mean firsthand. In 2022, my family and I were forced to uproot our lives and leave our home state because of anti-trans laws. A story that has become far too common. We came to Delaware for safety, for care, and for hope. And today we say to every young trans person in Delaware, you are safe here. You are seen. And you belong. Sorry. More than half of the states in our great country now restrict access to gender-affirming care. But Delaware, we are choosing a different path. We are choosing a path that's grounded in compassion, in science, and in dignity. We will protect healthcare. We will protect our trans neighbors. And we will protect the families who come here for care, who have stayed here to become our neighbors, our friends, our community members, our family. Trans rights are human rights, and here in the first state, we will not stop fighting for trans youth. Thank you. It is now.
Thank you.
Pretend like you like each other.
We're not Rhode Island. Come in. Leave our space.
Representative Sandra.